Have you ever wondered what our world will look like a century from now? How many people will be sharing this planet with us? As we embark on this 24th century, our current population count hovers around 8 billion. That's 8 billion lives, 8 billion stories, all sharing this one home we call Earth. But what does the future hold? How many lives will be added to this count in the next century? Some say the world's population could soar to more than 11 billion by the year 2124. That's an increase of almost 3 billion people. It's difficult to imagine, isn't it? An Earth teeming with 11 billion individuals, each with their dreams, ambitions and challenges. But what does this change mean? How will it impact us and, more importantly, our planet? This is where the concept of demographic changes comes in. Demography, the statistical study of populations, helps us understand these shifts. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the stories they tell. And the story of the next century is one of profound transformation. You see, population growth isn't uniform. Some areas will see more growth while others may see a decline. Factors such as fertility rates, mortality rates and migration patterns play a crucial role in these shifts. These demographic changes in turn have far-reaching effects on our societies, economies and environments. Our world is a complex puzzle, and each piece, every person, every demographic change alters the picture. As we look to the future, this puzzle becomes even more intricate, with more pieces added and moved around. It's a fascinating, albeit challenging, puzzle to solve. In the next century, our world will undergo significant changes. A rise in population, shifts in demographic patterns, an evolving global landscape. All these elements will shape our future. But the question remains, are we ready for this? Are we prepared to embrace the changes and tackle the challenges that come with a world of 11 billion? For now, the answer remains uncertain. But one thing is for sure. The future holds an intriguing puzzle, one that we are all a part of. Let's explore this puzzle together. To understand the future, we must journey through time. Now let's embark on a century-long journey, observing the ebbs and flows of population growth. Picture the world at the dawn of the 20th century, with a global populace of around 1.5 billion. The first 50 years witnessed an impressive surge in numbers. This was largely due to advancements in healthcare. The discovery of antibiotics and vaccines, for instance, significantly reduced infant mortality and extended life expectancy. However, this period wasn't without tumult. 2 world wars took a heavy toll on humanity, causing a dip in the population growth rate. Yet, in the aftermath of these tragedies, the world experienced what we now call the baby boom. A period of optimism and prosperity led to a surge in birth rates, particularly in the Western world. Enter the second half of the 20th century, a time of unprecedented technological progress. The Green Revolution in agriculture ensured food for the swelling masses. Meanwhile, advancements in birth control methods played a pivotal role in curbing population growth in many parts of the globe. The turn of the millennium saw the world's population cross the 6 billion mark. Rapid urbanization and the spread of education, particularly among women, began to influence fertility rates. Countries that were once population powerhouses started to witness a slowdown. Now, as we find ourselves in the mid-20s of the 21st century, we stand at a staggering 7.5 billion. The past century has been a roller coaster ride, with the population graph rising and dipping in response to the tides of history. So, what have we learned from this journey through time? The story of our population isn't simply about numbers, it's about the interplay of myriad factors: healthcare, wars, technological advancements, social changes and more. Looking back, we can see the factors that have shaped our world's population, but what about the future? That, my friends, is the question that leads us into our next scene. As we step into the unknown, let's ponder over the forces that might shape the course of humanity in the centuries to come. The future of our world's population lies in the hands of several key factors. Firstly, let's turn our attention to climate change. As our planet's climate continues to shift, the places where people can live comfortably are also changing. Rising sea levels may force coastal communities to move inland, while extreme weather could make some regions less habitable. This could lead to population shifts, with more people living in cities and fewer in rural areas. Next, we have technological advancements. With the rise of artificial intelligence, robotics, and other emerging technologies, our world of work is changing dramatically. As a result, populations could become more concentrated in tech hubs, while other areas might see a decline. Furthermore, with advancements in communication technology enabling remote work, we might see a deurbanization trend, with people moving away from cities towards rural or suburban areas. Let's not forget healthcare improvements. Advances in medical science and public health initiatives have already contributed to a significant increase in life expectancy. If this trend continues, we'll see a larger proportion of elderly individuals in our population. But this could also place a strain on resources, potentially slowing population growth. Finally, shifts in social attitudes towards family size are also influencing our future population. In many parts of the world, people are choosing to have fewer children, which could slow population growth. At the same time, however, improvements in gender equality and access to education could lead to a rise in birth rates in some regions. So, as you can see, the future of our world's population is a complex puzzle, with climate change, technological advancements, healthcare improvements, and shifts in social attitudes all playing their part. Each of these factors influences not just the size of our population, but also its distribution and composition. And these changes will have profound impacts on our societies, economies, and ecosystems. These factors will play a vital role in shaping our world's population. But how will they interact? With these factors in mind, let's paint a picture of the next century. As we gaze into the crystal ball of demography, the world's population over the next 100 years presents a fascinating canvas. Our world, as we know it, will undergo transformative changes, and the population tapestry is no exception. In the first quarter of the century, we're likely to witness the global population peak at around 9.5 billion. This peak is primarily driven by increasing life expectancy and high birth rates in developing regions. However, the trend is not expected to continue indefinitely. As we move into the mid-century, a shift starts to emerge. The world begins to age, and the balance tips towards more mature populations. This is a result of falling fertility rates and increasing life expectancy. We could see countries like Japan and Italy, with their already aging populations, become the norm rather than the exception. By the end of the century, we might be looking at a global society where the elderly outnumber the young. This scenario paints a picture of a world where healthcare and social security systems are under intense pressure. But it also presents an opportunity for societies to leverage the wisdom and experience of their older citizens. On the other end of the spectrum, we might envisage a world where fertility rates rebound and the population continues to grow. This scenario brings its own set of challenges, including pressure on resources and the environment. Then there's the wildcard scenario. Advances in technology, particularly in healthcare, could dramatically shift these projections. Imagine a world where life expectancy jumps to over 100 years, or where birth rates are controlled by technology. Each of these scenarios has far-reaching implications for our societies, economies, and planet. They demand thoughtful planning and action today to ensure a sustainable and inclusive future. This is just a projection. The actual future may vary greatly based on the decisions we make today. Our journey through time has shown us a possible future, a future that's as fascinating as it is uncertain. We've delved deep into the world's population puzzle, unraveled the timeline of change, and explored the myriad factors that could influence our population in the coming century. We began by examining our current global population, a bustling 7.8 billion people. Each one of us a unique piece of the puzzle, contributing to the vibrant tapestry of life on Earth. We've seen how our numbers have grown exponentially since the dawn of civilization, driven by advances in technology, healthcare, and agriculture. We then ventured into the factors that could influence our population in the next 100 years. We discussed the impact of fertility rates, mortality rates, and migration patterns. We've seen how advancements in healthcare and technology could potentially increase our lifespan, leading to a larger aging population. On the other hand, we've also considered how climate change and resource scarcity could pose significant challenges to our survival and growth. Our journey led us to a projection of the next 100 years. A projection that estimates our global population to peak at nearly 11 billion by the end of the century. We've seen how this growth could be concentrated in certain regions, particularly in Africa and Asia, while other regions might see a decline due to aging populations and lower fertility rates. But remember, these are just projections, educated guesses based on current trends and data. The future is not set in stone. It is shaped by the choices we make, the policies we implement, and the way we choose to live our lives. While the future holds many uncertainties, one thing is clear: the decisions we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. The question is, are we ready to take on the responsibility that comes with it?